Tuesday, February 24th, 2026, Tyngsborough School Committee meeting at the Tyngsborough Middle School Flex Performance Space. Would like to remind you that these meetings are audio and video recorded. My name is Becky Stanton, and I'll start with introductions to my left.
Barry Bushman. Mike Woodlock, Assistant Superintendent.
Hi, Mike Flanagan, Superintendent.
Danielle Athanas.
Stacey Guido.
Anthony Tenorello.
Joe Messina, Business Administrator.
Dan Hogan, Assistant Business Administrator.
Please rise for a pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll start with the approval of minutes. I'll seek a motion to approve the January 20th, 2026 School Committee meeting minutes and the February 2nd School Committee Tri-Board minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? That carries 5-0-0. Seeing no citizens here, we'll move on to correspondence. Dr. Flanagan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We'll jump right into the first set of pictures we received. First correspondence was emailed from Julie Mitchell at Hertz Furniture. Julie is a Tyngsborough resident, and she's one of our furniture vendors. This is the new furniture at the Tyngsborough High School cafeteria. As we know, we talked about this several months ago. Mr. Messina will get into the funding mechanism later. But this money was available through savings in the school budget. And we decided that after 30 years, it was time to upgrade the cafeteria furniture at the high school. Much needed. Kids need opportunities for flexible seating. They need opportunities for higher seats, bigger furniture. So it came out fantastic. So the kids will come back tomorrow to high school, and this will be their new cafeteria. So we're excited for them, and hopefully be over there to see some reactions. Mr. Messina, can you speak to the funding on this, please?
Sure. So the food service revolving account is unique in that it can only be used for food service related items. And since the pandemic and the beginning of the universal free breakfast and lunch, your break-even program has been running at more of a surplus, because back in the day when we charged students for lunches, we were charging less than what we were getting reimbursed from the state. In the current situation, in an all-free environment, you've been able to grow that food service account to a point where we had some excess funding, and during a recent audit with the state, they came in and said, if you don't spend it, you have to give it back to us. So obviously, they don't want us to give them back the money, and we looked at all of the food service opportunities within all of the buildings, and of course, seeing all the new flexible furniture here in the middle school, naturally we talked about the tables and chairs at the high school that have not been replaced in my 25 years here, so they could be original to the building.
The original 33-year-old caf furniture.
So we had an opportunity to take funding out of that account, and again, that account can only be used for food service related items. So we did just upgrade the point of sale system with a cloud-based point of sale system, and looking at some opportunities on the back of the house at the elementary school with dishwashers and some of the serving lines. So we continue to have some spending plans in place with Whitson's as to how we can get this surplus down to a point where the state's not going to want to take it from us.
So that's the first piece of correspondence. So thank you for that explanation, Mr. Messina. So the next piece of correspondence is in your drive. It's exciting news. I know that people are anxious to hear this, that SRO Gustafson will be back to school tomorrow. It should have been here Monday. But I did receive an email from Chief Woods about a recent hire in the police department, which allowed them to go back to full staffing, which allows SRO Gustafson to be back on campus starting tomorrow for the kids. So we're all excited to have Officer Gustafson back in the schools. And the final piece of correspondence is I did receive confirmation, this is for Stacy, Tony, and Ryan who's not here, from Council 93 about beginning negotiations. We put out a couple placeholder dates starting next Wednesday, the 4th, the 11th, and I think the 25th we put out there. So they confirmed that all three of those dates are available to them. So I thought we could potentially do 6 o'clock for negotiations in here. We can caucus in central office and kind of do the dance back and forth between these two areas. So if that's amenable to everyone, I will reach back out to Council 93, let them know we're good to go for next Wednesday. They also did express a desire to try to work through ground rules electronically, so that when we come to the first meeting, we can actually hit the ground running with some proposals. So
Yep.
I thought that made a lot of sense. So
Which we've done in the past.
we've done that in the past. So I will get back in touch with them tomorrow, and we will start that next Wednesday night.
Perfect.
Excellent. And that's all I have for communication.
Great,
Correspondence.
thanks. Cafeteria looks awesome. On to personnel, we have a notification of request for parental leave from Ms. Bluen, a TMS teacher. A notification for intent to retire from Mr. Jablonski, a TES paraprofessional of over 19 years. Also another notification of intent to retire from Cindy Nash, a TES paraprofessional of 26 plus years. And then we have a notification of new hire for Michaela Royale, a THS paraprofessional. Just wishing the best to the retirees. We do not have Cam here tonight for Share the Success, so we'll move on to subcommittee updates. Any update on the budget planning committee? I think we'll cover that later on.
We will cover that later on. Just for the
Yeah.
public, we did meet once, and I think we were supposed to have another one scheduled tonight, but I think there's going to be some conversations about potentially pushing that out because information needs to be gathered, so.
We have a policy subcommittee meeting on March 10th, and then a superintendent evaluation subcommittee meeting on March 24th. Moving on to unfinished business, teaching and learning, Mr. Woodlock?
Yeah, thank you. So I was going to take a few moments tonight just to give you a high-level updates from each of the buildings on some of the progress we've made with our SDI goals. We haven't done that for quite a while, even though I think it's been weaved in, but just specifically some of the things that have been happening in the schools. One of our big SDI goals over the last 2 years has been transitions from both TES to TMS and TMS to the high school. And so I wanted to just touch upon some of the great work that the high school did, and specifically high school students did. They hosted a few weeks back, every 8th grader went over there and they shared a presentation with them. They highlighted a lot of the opportunities at Tyngsborough High School. And one of the things we really wanted to do was make sure that whatever decision students make, wherever they decide to go to high school, they're going with complete knowledge of what's available here. I think we identified in the past sometimes that wasn't happening. People had some misinformation or didn't understand what was available at the high school. So that's been a really big target area. And they also did a survey following, and I just shared the survey is available to you with the link, but just looking at the response from the 8th graders, 46.1 said they had an improved impression of the high school following that event. So that says a lot about, one, what we have to offer at the high school. Two, we need to be really good about our information and make sure we're getting that out there. And three, we have great students that are proud about the high school they attend, and I think that really showed. So thank you to all the students that worked on that and the high school admin for making that happen. Secondly, the high school, they did wrap up their NEASC initial visit. And so the NEASC team completed and shared a report with the high school administration, who have 10 days. I don't know with the snow if that's gone past the window at this point, but 10 days to review and identify if there's any disagreements with what the visiting committee shared and what our self-study was, and just to make sure we have that right. In 2 years, another NEASC group will come back and see what we've done with the information that they've shared with us, the recommendations that they've made. But I will say, just, not giving anything away here, but in every single standard, it was indicated that we met the standard. That doesn't mean we're meeting it perfectly. There's still a lot of suggestions and recommendations in there, which are all reasonable and I think were expected. But obviously, it's a very good review for the high school. So this is a big thing with in their SDI. It's quite an undertaking. So I think they represented the school district very well. At the elementary school, a couple of things just really exciting because, as you know, like budget is tight. So it's nice when we can meet some of the needs of our students through grants. And so kudos to Mrs. Kavanaugh and her team for acquiring 2 literacy grants. One is kind of in line with the dyslexia action plan that they've been working on for the last couple of years, that they've had some really strong gains there, and the partner is Crafting Minds Consulting. And the second is to get some high dosage tutoring. So when students in the early grades are demonstrating that they're not quite at grade level, what we want to do is we want to intervene as early as possible and try and get them back up to grade level. So at no cost at all to the district, they'll be working with Amplify and M-Class to get tutoring for first and second graders who have been identified as they could use a little bit of extra help to get them where they need to go. And it's online tutoring. So these are professionals that do this for a living, and they'll work with our students individually to try and get them the extra intervention that they need to get them closer or at grade level. So it's very valuable, obviously. So we're excited to see how that goes, and that'll be targeting really grade 1 and some grade 2 students. So we have 30 seats available, and again, it's a grant, so no cost to the district. So really excellent way to get some interventions strategies. At the middle school, one of the things that we've been working on over the last couple of years is looking at our ELA curriculum and our instructional practices and making some updates on those. And this, again, this has its origins back over 2 years when we started meeting, but we really started implementing and piloting some things last year in 6th grade. And Katie Leahy, our ELA coach, has been instrumental in kind of leading that process, as well as our admin, and Josh Evans, our special education liaison. But recently we met and we had professional development with all of our ELA teachers. There are 4 in the middle school, as well as all of our special educators at the middle school, to really focus on, like, this is the direction we're going in. These are the strategies we want to see. And it's not too far away from some of the things we talked about at the last meeting, it was about a month ago, when we were really highlighting the new strategies and instructional practices that our staff was using. So we really want to focus on those, making sure we're giving our students strong voice, choice, and having opportunities to reflect in the process in their ELA education. So this year, in addition to 6th grade, we're really focusing on 7th grade and working with the special educators, Mr. Pendergast. And next year, as those students go up into 8th grade with some of those skills built already, they'll bring that into 8th grade, and Mr. Maslaka will. He's already doing some of it, but he'll go a little bit further with some of the strategies there. So it's kind of a three-year process, but by 27-28, we think will be full implementation here at the middle school. Additionally, just again, another highlight, but one of the SDI strategy goals at the middle school was to really bring on these 3 new classes. In the 6th grade, it was specifically to writing. So Mr. Lewis is teaching the writing class in 6th grade, along with Mr. Face, a special educator, and Ms. Connolly, the grade 6 ELA teacher. They have really been working together. So one of the things that we really want to focus on is not teaching in isolation, making sure that if we're doing something in one class that could really benefit something happening in another class, that we try and combine those things so the students aren't working on the same thing independently, so to speak. So, Mr. Lewis, Mr. Face, and Ms. Connolly have done a great job of partnering to give students a great research project in which they'll be doing research and a lot of nonfiction reading, but then partner that with writing for different purposes, which they have been doing in Mr. Lewis's class all year. So the students had a lot of choice here. Ironically, you wouldn't think, I was kind of surprised by this, Trish, but they were kind of fascinated by the Great Depression. This doesn't sound like a very happy topic, but they were fascinated by it. So these teachers got together and they created opportunities for them to pick from different topic sections related to the Great Depression. So not only did they get to pick the topic, but then it's been, the choice has been given throughout, different parts of the Great Depression. Like, what do you want to focus on? So this we know leads to greater engagement with our students. So having them have a voice in what they're doing is really important. And so I just wanted to give a shout out to the sixth grade for working so hard to do that for our students, and know they're having great experiences in those classrooms. So that's it for my updates. Anyone, I know I kind of went through those, and there's a lot of information there really quickly. Does anyone have questions or want any further explanations on any of those?
I just had a question on the online tutoring.
Yes.
Is that something that's done at home, or is that done during the school day?
That happens during the school day.
Okay, so
yeah.
in the school
So
with support?
At TES, they have 2 win blocks a day,
Great.
and those can be used for what I need. So if a student qualifies for and could use a little bit of that tutoring, that's when they can access that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
And then I love to hear what you were saying about the sixth grade team. Thanks to that sixth grade team, it's so important to see it across multiple class times and the student choice. It doesn't get better than that.
It's exciting to see the teachers excited about doing these new things, right? And I think that is contagious, and I think the students grab onto that. So, yeah, there's a lot of great things happening. I mean, not only in sixth grade, obviously. I think across the middle school, I would say, there's a lot of great change and innovation happening. The teachers are doing a great job.
I really like these snippets that you've been giving us this year. Your updates in the past have always been great, but this year,
I've stepped up my game, right?
this year they're that much better because it brings us into that classroom. So I like hearing these updates. Thank you.
Yeah.
And to kind of back that up, you highlighted the 6th and 7th grade tonight in some areas. And so for me, as a 6th and 7th grade parent, it's almost clarifying what we're hearing at home, which is, the ELA piece with the special education and Mr. Pendergast crossover, what I'm hearing from my special education student who's in that class working with the special ed teachers is, this is great. Whatever's happening is helpful, and I feel like I'm doing better in ELA this year, et cetera, et cetera. And the feedback from the 6th graders that I hear, not just my own daughter, but when she has her friends over, is they love it. So to hear the student side and then the professional side brings it all together, and it's just awesome. It's great.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of great feedback. Just not to go off topic, but just another parent, an 8th grade parent, actually grabbed me in the hallway not too long ago. It was like, for the first time in my life, my son is excited to read a book. In 8th grade, Mr. Maslanka gave them some choices about what they wanted, and she's like, he comes home talking about reading a book. There's not much better than that from hearing from my position. So, yeah, although I'm highlighting 6th and 7th grade, Mr. Maslanka is also doing some of that work in 8th grade already, even though we haven't quite got there on our plan yet. So, no, the teachers are doing a great job.
Any other questions or comments? All right, so we'll move on to new business with Mr. Piper and Ms. Richardson.
Thank you. So if I wasn't the tech director, I would be a game show host. So I thought I would give you the opportunity tonight to start off with a little trivia for everyone. So I need your participation in this. I'm going to throw out some numbers, and I'd like your best guess as to what you think those numbers represent. 862, any guesses?
Chromebooks.
The number of broken Chromebooks.
Pretty close, but a little low. Actually, the number of technology support tickets closed this year. In past years, looking back at the trend, we've had about 900, 950 per year. We're at 862 this year. I credit that to a few things. One, we're hounding people to submit tickets rather than just stop us in the hall. So that's been a plus. And with the new school, a lot of just general questions with the new technology. So nothing to be alarmed about there. Oh, wrong button. 212. Temperature at which water boils.
Exactly.
The number of staff computers.
Good guess, good guess. It is. The number of Wi-Fi access points in the district. So the little flying saucer things that you see in the ceilings and the walls that all of our computers connect to. 1,958.
That's the Chromebook number.
That's the average number of devices at any one time during the day that's actively using Wi-Fi. So it could be Chromebooks, teacher laptops, phones, and that's actively using it, not just connected. Now we'll get a little bigger, 2.4 million. No guesses?
The number of attempts to break into our
I was
system.
gonna say that.
Number of emails sent or received to date just through Gmail, so that doesn't include school messenger messages about school closings and all that. 2.4 million sent and received. And last number, one more for you, 11,704.
Phishing emails.
Good
Ooh.
guess, good guess. Actually, the number of Gemini AI prompts just from staff this school year,
That's cool.
which blew my mind. That's a big number. I think it's great.
That's great.
It's great. So what I'd like you to do now is think about when you walked in the building today. You probably didn't think about if the lights were going to be on, if that front door was going to be unlocked automatically or not, if the Wi-Fi was ready for you before the meeting so you could surf the web, if the heat, which is all programmable in this new building, was working. You didn't think about any of that probably, and why not? Because technology is most visible when it fails. So just let that sink in for a minute. I found this quote, and I've been thinking about it for days now. Because I think it's so true. You really hear about it. When something fails, our doors are being knocked on pretty hard. And it's good that it's invisible. This thing's giving me a hard time, Mr. Woodlock. So with this quote in mind, our team of 4 this year has been focused on a few things: reliability, security, and building dependable systems for students and staffs that they can use and rely on day to day. Much of this work we do every day is about mitigating issues before they happen and building capacity within our teachers, within our staff, so that they can also chip in when something goes wrong in their next door neighbor's room. We do this a few ways. We maintain current and aging systems, and we do have some aging systems in the district, which I'll talk about in a little bit. We support the users district-wide, and like I said, we build capacity so that the small issues don't become big issues. And so teaching and learning can happen every day without interruption, invisibly. A few upgrades in the past year, 25, 26, during the summer as well. Obviously, this new building. You've been in this building. You've seen all the great technology in this building. It's pretty mind-blowing. We have wireless projection in all the classrooms, solid Wi-Fi, a whole brand-new network. Besides that, it amazes me, all of the HVAC that is all electronic. You go into any HVAC closet or facilities closet, there's panels on the wall. There's a lot of technology in this building. At the elementary school, we also put in new network switches. Those are the devices that help all the data flow seamlessly and reliably through the network. We have new firewalls at the high school and at this whole campus actually, but it lives at the high school, and at the elementary school. And those devices are what keep all the bad things out, all the bad data, all the attacks that we keep blocking every day seamlessly. And it's also a cost savings. We switched firewall vendors last year to a new vendor, and it's been a great addition. Projector replacements, I mentioned aging technology. We have some projectors that are still in classrooms from before when I started 10 years ago, and they're slowly dying, but we were able to secure some from the old middle school to replace those when they die. Again, obviously here they're all new projectors. So that's been a big equipment replacement refresh is those projectors, but we're making headway on it. Our Chromebook refresh, again, we've budgeted a Chromebook refresh every year. 3rd grade and 6th grade get new Chromebooks. They'll keep those for 3 years, and then we'll pass those down to the lower grades and use those for things like MCAS at the high school. We were able this past year to do a staff laptop refresh for a lot of the district. Again, obviously the school as well. So that was a huge addition as the teacher MacBooks were getting up there in age. And then the fiber connection, which I think the last time I was in I mentioned, Tom LaFlamme from the town had a grant to run fiber to our school. So we're connected now from this campus to the town, and also from this campus over to the elementary school, and the elementary school to the town as well. So it's sort of like a triangle connecting our 3 buildings. And that gives us the benefit right now with the Munis system that finance uses. It's a direct connection. We don't have to go out through the internet anymore. It just goes right over that fiber connection. What we're planning on in the future, I won't jump the gun. Wi-Fi upgrade at THS and TES. Like I said, this new school has all new Wi-Fi equipment. We're going to eventually have to upgrade the high school and the elementary school with new access points in the coming years. Same thing at the high school with switches. It's the only school left with some old switches, which will need replacing in the coming years. And the computer lab at THS, I threw this on there. We do have a Windows lab. We used to have Mac labs, but we didn't have a need for those anymore. We do have one Windows lab at the high school that is really aging, and trying to work with Mr. Messina to see the needs around that lab, if that is still necessary, or if the BYOD devices that the students are bringing is suffice for his classes. The fiber, again, this is what I was alluding to, the redundancy between this campus and the elementary school. We just need to configure that on both ends, which we're hoping to do this year, so that if Wi-Fi goes down on this campus because the Comcast line is down, we can jump on the Wi-Fi at the elementary school and vice versa. Because right now they have separate separate fiber lines coming into the schools. And then evaluating educational software. It's something we're constantly doing. We have a lot of software being used out there in classrooms for teaching and learning, for all subjects. So again, we work with Mr. Woodlock pretty extensively on, what do we still need? What are teachers using? Are we using it to its potential? Is the cost worth the benefit, the ROI? Things like that. So those are just a few of the big projects moving forward. So with that, the exciting stuff tonight is from Ms. Richardson. She has the exciting stuff. So along with helping us out with supporting all the users and the technology this year, she's obviously the Director of Communication and Media, and she does a fantastic job posting stuff to all the social media. I just went out there and grabbed a few things that I thought were really cool this year. Obviously the Adams family, the student that won the Flake May snowplow contest. That was pretty wild. And a bunch of other things, the band concert. So she's doing a great job posting to social media. She's here tonight to tell you about a couple other things that she's working on with students, and I will let her take it away.
You want to change the slide for me?
I do.
Thank you.
Oh,
So throughout the past couple of years, I've had students come to me for a period of day if they're interested in marketing or social media or photography or video, anything like that. But this year, I had two amazing students come to me and they wanted to podcast. So we kind of did some research on different softwares that we could use to podcast and then directly post to Spotify. And I don't know if you guys know these two. This is Themi and Andrew, and they could literally talk for 3 hours if you let them. They're awesome. So we researched and we kind of came up with a logo and a theme and all kinds of things. So now every day they come to me and we either are planning or we're recording our podcast called The Tiger Den. So they cover Tyngsborough events. They're doing reviews they just had the theater kids on to talk about the Addams Family. This week we're doing a winter sports review, so we're having a couple coaches come on. So it's been really fun for them and they're super into it. It's been really cool. And then I obviously put the QR code if you guys want to listen to it too and follow, but it's been really awesome to have them. And then we do use that media center space. They love the flexible seating in there. Obviously you can see them in the little hut. That's where they like to record. Yeah, they love recording in that. So that's been the main project this year is the Tiger Den, and I think they're gonna continue it into next semester as well.
Can I say one thing about that?
Yeah.
I will say too, the two students when they come in the morning, again, as Ms. Richardson said, they're very enthusiastic.
Yeah.
But what I also notice is that they want to keep getting better each podcast. So if you start with episode 1, you'll notice there's, the sound issues.
Yeah.
Was the very first podcast. Sound issues were maybe a little shaky, but they're taking it on themselves to better themselves and say, okay, that wasn't so good. Let's try this. So it's not just hey, let's have a fun podcast. They're actually working on their skills in technology and that. So it's pretty cool to see that.
They've switched microphones like multiple times too because they think it doesn't sound good, but I think it sounds good. But yeah, they're awesome.
I got you.
Oh, thank you. And then, so this is the next thing. So an issue with communication as a whole across the district with clubs and sports have been communication between coaches, parents, players. It's kind of all over the place. Like some people use the Remind app, some people have a group, some people have just through email. So we've partnered with Snap, and this is a way to kind of like put it all into one platform. So this app is actually live right now, so you guys can actually go and download it in the App Store, and you can go in and follow teams. So it's completely linked with Arbiter. So as Ms. Palumbo updates scores and stuff like that, it will update automatically. But the messaging piece is, I think, the biggest part that we're going for. So we're gonna have it ready for the spring season. So coaches will only communicate for players, parents, coaches will communicate through Snap only. So they'll get a QR code at the beginning of the season, and we'll set them up with one. And then basically kids can just scan, now they're in the group. So now everything, when kids want to talk to their coach, hey, what time's practice today? They'll message through Snap. Or if coaches want to send a blast, hey, practice got moved today, rain delay, it will all go through Snap. And coaches can actually have a separate messaging stream that just goes to parents, just goes to players, or if they want to combine both, they can. So this is going to be really cool for the district. Also, like club advisors, anyone can use this. So it's not just sports based. It can be theater. It can be I run yearbook. It can be like the yearbook kids. Like I can push things out to them rather than having to email 17 of them and keep hitting reply all. So it's just going to make life a lot easier. So if you guys do want to check it out, you can go download it right now. You just type in Tyngsborough Public Schools and it will pop right up. And there's only sports up there now, but we're like slowly updating it, adding things as the year moves forward.
And I think as we go forward, this will be the only means
Correct.
of communication going forward.
Correct.
Well, I'm comfortable texting it, those are all gone.
Yep.
This is a protected platform that archives all communication for 7 years.
Yep.
This is gonna be the official communication device of the Tyngsborough Public
Yep.
Schools for all clubs and athletic teams.
Yep. And at the start of the spring season, I'll already be at the coaches meeting, so I'll kind of stand up there and kind of give them, like, talk through it, and then obviously it is a little hard to set up at first because we have to set it up on our end and then give them the QR code, but once they're in, like, they never have to do it again. They just hit create, and then it's done. So it's gonna
Jackie,
be,
if we could find some kind of tutorial for parents that we could put out through social media,
Sure.
so they could learn how to sign on
Yeah.
and kind of just walk them through it.
yep. And Snap has been really good about everything, pretty much. They sent me like a whole marketing kit, so like it will be placed everywhere once we get back to school too. So like games, when you first walk in, hey, follow boys basketball, and you just scan the QR code and it will pop right up. So it's gonna be great.
The other component that goes with this is there is a fundraising component that goes
Yes.
with this as well. And
Yes.
fundraising can be done through social media right easily, so we're not sending students out with Tiger cards or popcorn door to door anymore. That's all gone. All the fundraising will happen through this device
Yeah.
as well, through this app as well. And it's just safer for everyone, it's easier for everyone. I think one of the things that kind of sold us was, you're not gonna hit up your uncle in California for a bag of popcorn, but if they see a link, they're gonna donate. And I think they saw significant fundraising go up across the board because of the ease of this app. So it'll be a great program for all our teams and clubs
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, I can kind of talk on the fundraising part of it too, because I used it last year for lacrosse, and it was awesome. The kids didn't have to go anywhere. All you did is put in 20 emails, and it actually reminds you, like, because some of the kids put my email in, so it would remind you, hey, you haven't donated to this kid yet, like, click this link. So like every week it would kind of push it out, and we didn't even have to do everything. And I think we raised like $3,500 just by the link. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, it was awesome.
All right, what questions do you have for technology?
Can I just have Derek speak to one more thing before the question?
Absolutely.
Can you talk about security cameras? We received a grant from Senator Kennedy before he passed, about a $150,000 grant that we looked at security cameras. Could you talk a little bit about that, Derek?
Yeah, sure. So Mr. King, Director of Facilities, is working with a company now, and they've run all the wires, all the cables for security cameras at the high school and the elementary school, and they're waiting now for equipment to come in. We're replacing a bunch of cameras at the high school. We got some very old analog cameras. They're very glitchy, kind of shaky, go in, go out, so we're replacing a bunch of those. I forget if there's any new ones over there. There may be a few new ones as well to capture some spots that weren't being captured. And definitely at the elementary school, there's some replacements and also some new ones as well. I think there's at least 5 or 6 maybe, don't quote me on that, new outdoor cameras for the playground and things like that. So these cameras obviously are going to be a huge upgrade from what we have now. Talking about aging systems, we have some old cameras.
Thank you.
I just want to say, thank you very much for coming in tonight to speak. I can say personally that as a parent, I've emailed Mr. Piper and immediately have gotten a response. I can only imagine how busy you are, and it's amazing how quick you are getting back to people to answer questions and fix things that need to be fixed, so thank you for that. For Ms. Richardson, I have been a fan since you came on board. I think that you've done a really great job sharing communication with the public about great things that are happening in the schools. It's just made news at the school so much more accessible to parents. Yeah, people have to kind of know where to go to find the Facebook pages or the Instagram pages, but as soon as you find those pages and you follow them, you're getting updates all the time and pictures of what students are doing in the schools, and it's just great to see that kind of stuff. It helps kind of fill in the blanks because kids don't always want to tell you what they're doing in school. I also love how much you kind of outreach to the students. Like if a student has an interest in media, anything really having to do with media, you really work with students and you are a mentor to them, and I just think that's fabulous. You're kind of showing them a whole occupation that could be out there, that they could pursue if they wanted to once they leave Tyngsborough. So I just think that's fabulous. That's an asset that we have here in you, so thank you. Also, lastly, I love the Snap Mobile idea.
Yeah.
As a parent of multiple kids in the district that play multiple sports in multiple clubs, and I have at least 3 apps on my phone for different sports. It's a pain in the neck to get all the emails and have all the different apps. So to have one place where I can get all the information, instead of tracking different things in even just one season, this is gonna be a huge game changer for parents.
Yep.
And for athletes, because sometimes if a coach uses a certain app, like I know for a student that I know, their phone number wasn't accepted. So they were never getting any of the team updates that all the rest of the players were getting, and they were kind of like left out of a lot of things.
Or the Remind app too, like sometimes the kids, like, it will just give you a notification, but like, they don't always click it, and then they're like, oh, I didn't see that. So this is gonna be great.
This is gonna be a huge game changer, and with the fundraising and everything, I just think it's gonna be wonderful for our sports and our clubs.
Yes.
I just wanted to ask one thing. I know you said that this is gonna be like live for spring sports.
Yep. The messaging piece of it.
Okay.
Yep.
Will other season coaches be aware of it though as well? Because I have known some coaches from a different season that are already reaching out to players about fundraising when it's not necessarily their sports season.
Okay.
They're like emailing players and being like, we're meeting this week
Yep.
to talk about fundraising.
That's a different conversation I will have with Mr. Palumbo. Nobody should be fundraising off-season. We try to limit the amount of fundraisers.
Oh, okay.
Only
All right.
season
Sorry.
should be fundraising,
I didn't know
so
that.
we can have that
Okay.
conversation.
All right.
But we will let all coaches know, like, I'll work with Ms. Palumbo, like, we'll let them know, like, this is what we're going to do, like,
is
going
what everyone's
forward.
gonna use.
Yeah, with
Okay.
the fall and the winter of next year.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, no, this is fabulous. If you or Mr. Piper or whoever
Mrs. Palumbo, decided to use this app. This is a huge game changer,
Yeah.
so thank you very much.
Yep,
This-
you're welcome.
Parents are gonna love this once they start using
Yep.
it. And I think
Yep.
the kids will too.
Yep.
So thank you.
I have a very hopeful, well, first of all, thank you both a lot. I know I've talked to both of you before. You guys know that I super appreciate everything that you do. Hopefully a very quick question. I know there are a lot of like outside of the activity parent groups, like the football group, the theater group, the band parents, that have separate band fundraising things. Would this app be available to those groups to team up and partner with the clubs and organizations if they wanted to keep it in that central place? I'm not involved in any fundraising things, I just didn't know. Okay, so they would still remain
Just-
completely
yeah.
separate, okay.
Yep.
Doesn't mean we can't promote an event
Oh,
that they're
sure, sure,
doing,
sure,
but
sure,
to
sure. Yeah.
have access to the communication and
Yeah.
the link, and this is all protected, school emails.
Yep.
Well, I want to thank you both. I heard a lot about the podcast.
Yes.
A lot of that has come home to me.
We have a lot of fun.
Yeah. I think that I'm already aware of some students that are interested in it for next year, so.
Oh, awesome.
Yep.
Love it.
That's certainly been really popular. And I appreciate, I don't know if Danielle or Stacy said it, maybe both, how your whole department outreaches to the students, whether it's, Mrs. Richardson, you and like all the many different tentacles you have outreaching to the students, or Mr. Coughlin filling in last year for a teacher, like, the whole department is outreaching to the students. You're not just some like people that are in an office. So that's really cool, and I think it's something that makes Tyngsborough unique and special.
And Miss Mitchell on an island over at the elementary school does a great job too.
Yeah.
She does.
Those kids love her
Yeah.
in that building.
And then Snap, I'm really excited. I downloaded it while you were talking.
It worked good, okay.
So it wasn't difficult, and I'm not super tech savvy, so.
Did it let you pick like parent when you first logged in?
It asked for like my fundraiser 9-digit code, so I don't have a code yet, and I
Okay.
didn't want to be too distracted.
Okay.
So a tutorial video would be great.
Yep,
So it would, yeah.
on it.
The download is easy, the creating your account is
Okay.
easy, but then that next step.
Okay.
But this was fantastic, and I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Mr. Coughlin, who's somewhere out in the ether in this school tonight, helping us broadcast this school committee meeting. So, thanks.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you. I started back in 1994 in another community, and we had no technology. We had to wire up 9 schools, 7 neighborhood elementary, middle, and high school, and bring technology in. It's great to see how far it's advanced, particularly here. And I think to follow up on one thing Stacy said, seeing that the kids are getting into social media. My daughter, who's a high school graduate here, went out to California 10 years ago, and she's involved with social media on the entertainment world. So she's the social media lead for Apple TV, and does mostly publicity strategy for their talk show. So it's a great thing to have, and I love the Snap mobile.
Yeah.
That's terrific to see. So
Yep.
thank you.
All right, well, thank you both.
Thanks,
Appreciate your
guys.
time. All right, we'll move on to the fiscal 27 budget development with Dr. Flanagan and Mr. Messina.
All right, Mr. Messina, top that fun presentation.
I know.
Well, we don't
I know.
have trivia
I have no
questions.
game shows. So we're a little behind the times because a lot of this was presented at the tri-board meeting back on February 2nd. Weather has gotten in the way of budget subcommittee meetings and regular school committee meetings. But what you see on the screen right now is how the revenues outside of your school committee budget sort of look compared to this current year's budget numbers. And you can see the bottom line, the revenues are actually up slightly, and that's driven primarily by an increase in our special ed circuit breaker numbers. And again, one of the side effects of our costs like out-of-district costs and special education transportation increasing is if the state's doing their part, your circuit breaker is going to increase year over year. So the state is reimbursing the full amount of 75% on both transportation and out-of-district tuitions. So that's gone up significantly on the revenue side. So plugging that increased revenue number into your budget total is an actual page that is very difficult to read, but the superintendent's sort of given us what it looks like. It's a $1.1 million increase over this year's budget request, and that is a 4.7% growth currently. And again, it's an increase over that 2.7% benchmark budget increase that we've sort of come to be familiar with over these last few years. So right at this moment, we're looking at about a $474,000 figure over our 2.7% increase figure.
As we continue to the next slide, again, we know that there's been an issue the town collectively has, originally it was a $2 million issue. We received some benefits as a community from health insurance being capped at 14%, not 25%. Some other good news that came in along the way. Essentially right now, there is a $550,000 issue on the town on top of our 2.7% issue that we're dealing with locally. If we look at that $550,000, there's been discussion over the years of a 60-40 split there. And we know as a result of the tri-board meeting that a budget planning subcommittee was formed, which Becky and Tony are representatives to. We've only had one meeting. But if we were to assume 60% of that $550,000, and you add that to the 474, we have an $800,000 issue that we need to address between now and town meeting. So the budget subplanning committee group is working on this. I don't know when the next meeting is. It was supposed to be tonight, but got canceled. So I have a meeting, actually, Mr. Messina, Mr. Hogan, and I have a meeting tomorrow morning with Mr. Loisel at 8:30 to talk through some of this information. So we will communicate via email with you to let you know where we stand. But right now, we have minimally a $474,000 problem, and it could be as high as 804. We don't expect it going higher than that. So we've been talking about 1.5 million, 1.6 million. Happy to see it's down to 804. I'm not happy about dealing with 804, but we're happy to see it's coming down and it's trending in the right direction. We will get through it. We will open the doors in August, and we'll provide a great opportunity for kids. So that will happen regardless, but this is something that we need to kind of work through over the next month or so. So this is where we are right now. Any questions about the budget before we move on? Okay. We've talked a lot about it. So I wouldn't imagine it would be. The last slide is, or the last action is academic calendar, Madam Chair.
Yep.
Basically, we took this year's and kind of rolled it over. I think there was one adjustment. I can't see that. We actually have an interesting start to the year next year, where Labor Day is late. Labor Day is later. And we can't start until the week before Labor Day, which puts us in the very first week of September. However, September 1st, that Tuesday, is an election day. So what we're going to do, instead of going Teacher Day on Monday, students on Tuesday, we'll go Teacher Day on Tuesday, because we can't have teachers in the building, and we could just run elections here, and we'll have teachers, we'll do PD elsewhere in the district. So we'll go Teacher Day Tuesday, students come Wednesday, students come Thursday, and contractually, we keep the language of the Friday, Monday long weekend. So instead of going for students 3 days, then 4 days, it'll be 2 days, then 4 days. It's a change that happens every so often because of a late Labor Day coupled with an election year. So that's really the only significant caveat or difference in this schedule. Otherwise, right now you can see June 17th would be the last scheduled day of school. Ironically, currently as of today, June 17th is our scheduled last day for this year. It's a Wednesday this year. It'll be a Thursday next year. So that's where we are. We did run this through the President, Vice President of the Union. We all seem to be on board. So just looking for a formal vote of committee.
I'll seek a motion to approve the 26-27 calendar.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? That carries 500. Thanks, Dr. Flanagan.
Great, we will get this out on the website sooner than later.
Sounds good. I've already seen some questions out there on the social media about it.
All right,
So,
get up to our vacations.
Finance, Mr. Messina?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have to point out that I missed the superintendent's middle school building update that he did every other meeting, so not having it on this one is,
6 years.
it's a little stunning not to see it on there, so it threw me off a little bit. 4, signing of bills. Tonight, there were 10 bill warrants presented to the committee tonight. I do have them all back approved, and as always, all of the signing of bills is in your drive for warrant numbers, accounts, and amounts. Also for signing of bills, bills dated February 3rd were signed by Mr. Bushman at the February 2nd tri-board. That list is in your drive. And bills that we had prepared for the canceled school committee meeting on February 10th. Mr. Mullen, as your single signer, came in on the 13th of February and signed 6 warrants for us. For signing of payroll, the canceled meeting, we did have 2 payrolls to present to the committee. They were the payroll of January 26th and February 9th. And then those warrant numbers, accounts, and amounts are in drive. And also in your drive is the January 2026 financial package, and that consists of 3 reports: your budget at the end of January, the revolving account balances at the end of January, as well as a list of the student accounts at the end of January. And for February 1st enrollment, I will leave that to the chair.
For TES, we have 781 students. TMS, we have 354 students. THS, we have 426 students. Out of district, we have 25 students for a total of 1,586 students.
And that's it tonight.
All right, great. School committee discussion, Mr. Bushman?
Yeah, great technology report. Thank you for the SDI update. And say, kids, welcome back.
Mr. Whitman? Mr. Hogan?
No comment.
I'm all set tonight. Thank you.
I'm all set, thank you.
All set.
I just want to congratulate Mrs. Jablonski and Mrs. Nash on their retirements. I know that they are well-loved in the TES community. I know I've got a couple of kiddos in my house who have had both of them in some capacity, whether it was just a presence in their classroom or for a club or a para or something, so congratulations to them. Thank you to the facilities crews for all they've been doing this winter with obscene amounts of snow and keeping the parking lots and pathways and sidewalks clear for our kiddos. And staff, I know things can get slippery and we're running out of places to put this nonsense. So just thank you for that. And that's all I've got.
Great. I love how that high school cafeteria looks. I want to thank Dr. Flanagan, Mr. Messina, for utilizing our funds so that our students benefit from them. You know, again, this is not an impact to like the town of Tyngsborough taxpayer budget. This is money that the state would have taken back from us. So I love that we're utilizing this to benefit our students. Thanks for that. I used those original tables, so that helps. Welcome back, Officer Gustafson. We're real happy to have him back and certainly looking forward to that. And special thanks to the team for getting those 2 literacy grants. Any grants we can get to help with our budget are fantastic. With that being said, we do have a need for executive session this evening.
I do have 2 comments.
Oh, sorry, Dr. Flanagan. Yeah, I'm a little rusty here.
I promise,
Yeah.
I won't be long-winded.
Okay.
The first one is really kudos to our facility team. E. King has been with us for a very short time and has been masterful at managing snow removal. And, you know, I know that the streets looked okay this morning. It's a matter of bus stops and expanding roads and making sure kids are safe at bus stops. I think that's critical, and I think that's sometimes forgotten. Additionally, another consideration when we make a decision about school is if every other district in the area has closed, staff won't be in the classrooms because they have to be home with their kids. So we need to take all those things into consideration when we make some of these decisions. So that's the first thing. The second point I'll make is this. I just did some quick math. 1,586 students, 240 staff, that's 1,806. 1,806, we saw 1,950 devices online at any one time. And we know K through 5, they don't have devices. Well, K through 2 don't have devices on a regular basis. So, cell phone policy is coming down the pike. We're having conversations about that, so we need to rein in some of our tech use. So, that's it.
All right, I'm so sorry about that.
That's quite okay.
Yeah, and I'm a little rusty
That's
here.
okay. No, you did great.
All right, so we do have a need for executive session to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation of an open, if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigation position of the public body as declared by the chair. We'll return from executive session only to adjourn regular session meeting, and I'm seeking a motion to enter into executive section.
So moved?
Second.
This action will require a roll call vote.
In favor?
In favor?
In favor?
In favor.
In favor.
And we are in executive session. Thank you.